As you can see, I am back in the classroom at the Springfield Excel Center, and so I wanted to do a new welcome video from here. Although we are still online, I just wanted to show you, hey, they're getting closer. For those that know my classroom, the window you can see out there, so I'm pretty excited about that. Just to be able to just stand sometimes and look out the window and not, not be like, hey, I'm at my house. Anyway, I did want to go through the attendance policies again in the grades, just to kind of remind you of this at the beginning here. And my whiteboard, I'm so excited, it's so big again, not the little one that I have to keep erasing every 2 problems. And so this will be for all my classes. And I know I'm teaching some new ones this term. I'm kind of excited about that, to kind of have some variation a little bit. I am still teaching some math, so if you are in my pre-algebra class, this will be for you as far as math-wise. But anyway, just want to go through these. Of course, this has always been this way, our attendance bonus. This is for the attendance bonus at the end, and I know some students have really benefited from that, and so I think it's important to kind of go through it again and just encourage good attendance, because it really can impact your grade. I've had a few that it bump them up to the next grade or even make it to where they pass. But this right here is the days that you can miss and still get some percentage points. Now, if you don't miss any days or even just that one day that's forgiven, you can get a total of 5% of your overall grade bumped up. So like if you finished, like I was talking about, some jumped up to the next grade, maybe they were at a C, a 75%, never missed, it bumped them up to an 80, to a B. So I mean, it does have good chance of benefiting your score. Obviously, if you do end up missing more than that one day, it drops you down to where you can still get a 4% bonus though, so there's still, a good chance to help your grade. 3 is 3%, 4, 2%, 5, you still can get a percent. And then anything more than that, you don't get any of the attendance bonus. Now, how that shows up at the end, and I haven't ever explained this before on a video. I've had some students reach out to me on email, and I've had to explain it that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and address that here, even though it's gonna be at the end of the year, and I'll probably still get the emails. But I put it in, the way I have to do it is it does not affect your test scores at all. So we have to put it in as an assignment. And if I put it in as a regular assignment, those that don't get any bonus points, it would actually hurt their grade. So I have to put it in differently. I have to put it in as a extra credit assignment. Then when that happens, just the way the points fall sometimes, you may, and this is where I've gotten emails, you may qualify for the 5%, maybe you never missed, and I still have to, because the way your grade is at the moment and the way I have to put the extra credit in, you may not get the full points to it. So let's say it's a 30-point extra credit assignment. You may see like a 28, or I've seen some like 24.5 or something. And I have students reach out and say, hey, why was I docked points? You were not docked points. What I have to do is I actually hit them in manually and wait till I see an exact 5% increase in your score, in your grade. Once I see that, that's where I leave it. So in your case, someone's case may get 28 out of 30, someone else may get 24.5, but I rest assured I made sure that it did raise you the exact 5% and so on. So at the end of the year, at the end of the term, when you see that, that's what that's about. It's just so that I can make sure you get the exact 5% or 4% or 3% or where you fall into that. Now, if you have any like discrepancies where you may think you didn't miss any, you may want to email me at that point if you notice that maybe you didn't get anything, like a 0 credit. So that way you can say, well, what happened or what was an absence? As far as what I consider an absence, just so you're aware, now when we're here at the school, obviously if you're here, that's what I mark you. So when we're back to regular, everybody's at the school, that's kind of self-explanatory. But as far as online, I post an assignment, those that have had me before know, let's say, let's say the assignment's on a Wednesday. At midnight on Tuesday night, my assignments post for that Wednesday. So it shows up at 12:01 in the morning on Wednesday. The reason why I do that is Google Classroom allows me to set those up, and that way you have the whole 24-hour day to turn in an assignment. Because I know some students are actually doing theirs that late, where they're up at midnight. I would never expect you to have to wake up if you're asleep and you see that, oh, I gotta do this at 12 in the morning. It's just so that those that are up and are working on that have that option where it's there right at the beginning of the day. That assignment stays up until midnight or 11:59 on Wednesday. So that, like I said, you have that full 24-hour period, I should say 23 hours and 59 minutes, that you have to do that assignment. Once that passes and the assignment deadline is passed, you can still turn in that assignment. Like you guys know that have me here, I accept things until the end of the term, up until about the last week, because I got to have my grades in. So you can still turn it in and get some points for it, and so your grade can benefit. But as far as attendance-wise, it has to be in that window. So if you turn it in the next day or a week later, I can't go back and mark you present for that day. It'd be like a regular class. If you, let's say, didn't come to class that day and then later turn something in, you'd get the points for turning it in, but I would not go back and count you there that day because you were not there. So it's the same thing with online. If you don't turn it in that 24-hour period, you are absent. I have done some tardies with that, just so you know, where like maybe there was something going on with your internet, or you had an issue where it came in like a couple hours late. I work with some tardies in that way to where it still counts you there, but that's each instance is on a case-by-case basis. So it depends on, if you've reached out to me and there's something going on with the internet or something going on that you're not able to get it uploading, but you are trying. So in that case, I have allowed that for tardy. So hopefully, that answers your question with the attendance bonus and how I do attendance. As far as grades, okay, this is every class at the Excel, and my classes here follow it, is your tests are 70% of your grade, and your daily assignments are always 30% of your grade. So because we're performance-based, really your grade is driven by your test. So how you do on those tests, how you perform on those tests, drive your grade. But there is, an effect by this part of it, the daily assignments. It's not everything of your grade, but it does affect it. To give you a quick example for my math students that know, you could ace every single test, get 100%. If you never turned anything in, the highest you can get is a 70. That's why it means 70% of your grade. Now, obviously, I always share the example that it's going to be almost impossible to ace your test, get 100% and not be turning anything in. So it's almost impossible to do that anyway. But just to give you an idea how that works, that's what that would be. Now, if you, let's say you get 90s and 80s on your test, this can really make sure you stay above that passing grade. So it can really help you to make sure you're doing your assignments and turning those in. Because with daily assignments for me in these classes, since we've been online, it's really more of just turning them in and making sure you're trying the work and that you're trying to watch the videos and do the problems that are on there. For my health and PE classes this term and my music classes, there's going to be different kinds of assignments than maybe a math class would be. So just as long as you're participating and being in those discussion boards and making sure you're watching the videos that I want you to, or writing the essays that I want you to, or answering the questions, that's going to be a big part of the daily assignments. Okay, so that's how that breaks down. I will be posting also the same videos I posted back in March about how to upload something on Google Classroom and how to use your Google app on your phone. For those that have not been doing that and want a little introduction course, I would recommend watching those. Even if you have watched that maybe just a refresher course on what I'm looking forward to turn something in. I think it'd be good to watch those. I'm not gonna shoot those just because they're good enough as they are to watch them and kind of remember how to use those apps and how to upload on Google Classroom. So anyway, those are the two things I wanted to cover. Introduction, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I am excited, every term. I wish we could be together again in person, but as soon as we get through this, we can work towards that. And so anyway, I look forward to teaching you this term. For those that have not met yet, I really hope there's a chance here soon that we can meet. Because I know some of you guys have me in math lab and we've not met in person, and now you have me in pre-algebra, or maybe even some new students that we have that are taking health and PE and music. I wish I could meet you, but anyway, I'll give you a quick pan around to the classroom just so you can kind of feel back at home for those that have been in my classroom. Of course, I have my picture walls of my travels. Those that have me know I love to travel. I was actually out east when all this broke out. I was in New York City and DC, and I had to come back. I had taken my sister on the trip. She had never been to those places, and so she had to quarantine at my house as well for those 14 days. So she had to really suffer through that. But anyway, picture wall in the back of my college, high school times, and just kind of, with people and friends. And of course, my clock. So those that have had me know my clock's back there, and the 3 whiteboards, the one, hopefully you're not getting dizzy here, 2, 3. Anyway, so look forward to teaching you this term.